Hi everyone, it's Kathleen. We are here today to start doing some fancy stitches on this vintage textile collage on wool blanket. I have previous videos showing how I start from a plain wool blanket, and this one is a full-size wool blanket. It's probably a double size because it's an old blanket. And I have created a base. My base is with a vintage tablecloth, and then I've used various vintage snippets to merge onto the linen and onto the wool blanket. Today I'm going to start working on the fancy stitches for my Suffolk puffs. I'm going to be doing, I don't know if I'm going to do all of my Suffolk puffs like this, but I'm going to do a lot of them like this. So I'm going to show you how I do these long bullion knots. And my inspiration came from this piece that I did a while ago. And I love, this is done with pearl cotton, a variegated pearl cotton on small little Suffolk puffs. I love how the tentacles or the bullion knots rotate. Mine looks like a starfish right there, but I am going to try to make them a little bit longer. So I have 3 colors of yarn that I'm working with. And this is acrylic yarn from Michael's. I just bought it for the color, nothing else. If it would have been wool, I would have been happier, but it's acrylic and I'm still going to use it. I'm not a fabric snob. I'm not a yarn snob. And or a needle snob. I will use whatever I have, literally. So I bought these specifically for this blanket because I did not have these colors, and I like to work in 3s. And I want bright colors in these shades, red, orange, variegated, which has a little bit yellow in it. So those are the colors I'm going to use. And I'm putting that off to the side. I've already threaded up the 3 long needles that I have, my scissors. And before I get started, I want to show you the back. A lady asked what my back looked like. And well, this is the back, and I am not going to be lining this with anything. I live in Canada. I'm cold a lot of the time, and I love a wool blanket on my lap. So this is a large wool blanket that I'm going to have on my bed, just for me. I don't intend to wash it. Will I attempt to dry clean it eventually? I don't know, but I'm going to be very, very careful with it. I'm not going to sleep with it. It's just going to be for decoration on my lap to keep me warm while I stitch. So this is the back, and I'm going to leave it like this. They're small enough stitches, and if these ones were long, I finished off my threads to anchor it down. I'll show you how to start and to stop, to start and to end if you're working in wool. It's different than working on other fabrics, for me anyway. And this is just how I do it. There are probably so many different ways of doing it, but this is just the way I do it. So no haters out there, no embroidery police, no wool police, no negative comments. This is how I do it. This is a video diary for myself for when my MCI gets worse. My husband can just put on a playlist and sit me in front of my stitching, and I'll go, oh my God, wow, whoever did that did such a nice job. Yes, and if you can't blow your own horn, who can? Okay, this is the sample that I'm working with. If it's in the shade, I apologize. I'm in my dining room because that's the only place I can film at the moment. I'm lucky enough that I can spread it out at the table right now. So if there's barking going to be happening, there's going to be barking. Okay, so I'm going to try to, oh shoot, a Maru Rusty's underneath my chair. Okay, when I said I'm not a needle snob, I mean it. Some people will tell you, oh no, you have to use a certain needle when you do bullion knots. Oh my gosh, if you don't, you're a terrible person, more or less, and it just won't turn out. Well, it will turn out, and I'll show you. Usually you use a milliner's needle. I don't even know if this is a milliner's needle. or not. Milliner's needles are, the shaft is the same distance, same thickness, am I even in camera, as the eye, just so you can slide it off easy. Well, this might be a milliner's needle. I know this is not because of the length, but is the eye a little bit larger? Yeah, slightly. Yes, it is. This is a sashiko needle that I brought a variety pack in, and I'm going to use that. What is this? Is this a milliner's needle? Hell no, it's a yarn needle. It's pointy and it's a yarn needle. It's large, and you can obviously tell that the head, the eye, is larger than the shaft. Am I going to use it? Of course I am. Why? Because I can easily thread my yarn through the eye, and it's long enough. And I'll show you. What is this? Milliner's needle? Maybe. I'm not sure. But I'm going to use it. So anything that I can thread my yarn through the eye, I will use. So I have, and I'm going to be doing bullion knots. The extra yarn, I'm going to do the horizontal stacked stitch. If there's another word for it, that's okay. That's just what I call it, because it's horizontal and they're stacked one on top of the other. It's a straight stitch. Is it a running stitch? Well, it's not really running, it's stacking. So that's why I call it a stacking stitch. I'm going to be doing a running stitch across the top on all 4 of these corners. Okay, so I like working in groups of 3. 3 colors, which is, I'm going to say a dark, a medium, and a light. And they're different, well, they're not all different stitches, because this is an outline stitch. The red, the orange is a running stitch, and so is that. I like to have 3 different stitches. I had a brain freeze, and I couldn't come up with something yesterday when it was late. Late is 6:30 at night for me. Yes, because brain falls asleep very, very fast. Okay, so I've done 2 variegated. That's light. The medium is the orange. So let's pick out the orange thread that I have. Am I in camera? I can't even, I have to stand up, sorry. Rusty is there. Oh, maybe I can move this over. Okay, there we are. So, there we are. Move this to the side. So I have a large needle, and this is a sashiko needle. Yes, it is. It's a sashiko needle, and I'm doing a bullion knot. I sure am. And is it a short length? Hell no, it's long length. It goes from the tip of my finger on my left hand all the way to my right shoulder. That's a long length, maybe 3 feet. That's a yard. Some people say, oh my God, don't do that. Well, I'm doing it. I want to do a bullion stitch, and I want to make long tentacles, tendrils, bullion knots. So I want to come out. This is the center of the Suffolk puff. So I want to come out somewhere there. So I'm going to take that out. That's where I want to insert my needle to the front. So because I'm working with wool, I love wool because it's thick. The fabric is, think of it like a foam. You can hide your stitches within the wool fabric. So this is how I start. I'm going to, am I in camera, in frame, maybe? I'm going to go into the wool. I can feel I'm not even through. I'm just on the surface of the wool, because the wool is the wool. There's that very thick, dense batik and the nice thin feed sack. So I'm just in the wool, and I'm going to bring it up somewhat, 1 centimeter, maybe ½ inch. And you see how it's barely there. If I pull it through, I'll probably pull it all the way through. You see how I have these little tufts here and here? That's the starting thread. So I'm gonna hold that with my thumb and my finger, squeezing it so I don't pull it out. And I'm going to take 2 little anchoring stitches, 1, and just through the wool, 2, and it's like a knot, and it's hidden in there. So I have to come up somewhere in there. So I'm going to, again, I'm going to travel my yarn through my wool. And you don't see it on here because you're going in between, just on the surface of the wool, which is hidden by the fabric. And I'm going to come up. Let's come up about there. So I'm not quite in the center. Check if I'm in frame. Okay. And I'm going to go somewhere in here. So that looks like the center. Am I in the center? Well, I actually pierced my bullion. So I'm going to go back out. Okay, I'm going to come out. Looks like I'm piercing my yarn through there, so I'm just going to... Okay, I know I'm not piercing anything. I'm just coming out. And I am holding my edge and edge of my yarn. And I'm just going to pull it. So it's hidden. So now I can start. This is where it's going to come out, and my OCD sets in. So on this Grandma's garden, flower garden, you see that I have 2, 4, 6. So I like to go off to the right. I like 45-degree angles. So I started off with that. Then I went 2 down. And there you can see, for me, I'm OCD. This is just how I do it. It's not random. It's very well planned. From the center up there where that little V is. So then if I want to go 2 down, this is my hexagon. So I'm going to have a length here, and then I'm going to have a length there. Same thing I did with this. So I want 3. So I start in the center, and I go where the hexagons are stitched together. And that's 1, 2, and I'm going to have a 3rd one. But if I want to have my 3rd one, I just don't want it hanging in the middle. So I'm going to go to the edge here, like this. You see where that is? That's a very long tentacle. So, and that's why I'm using my sashiko needle. So to do a bullion knot, I'm going to make sure that I have lots of thread. So this hangy bit is just small, 2 inches maybe, and the rest is long. It's going to end here. This is very thick fabric. It's very, very hard to go through. I do not like this new batik fabric. It's too dense. So I'm going to go down on the tip of that, and I'm going to come up. Whoops, not there. I'm going to come up there. So on the back, it's one long carrying bit. Can we see that? I'm going to anchor it down later. I could anchor it down in 2 spots or in 1 spot, but that's how to start a bullion knot, where you come out with your thread and your needle. Then you take your needle, you go in where you want it to end and back out at the beginning. And I'm going to actually pull my needle through so it's just standing up on the table. Can you hear that? That's my needle standing on the table. So the part that comes out, I'm going to do wraps. Now going by memory, I went 27, 34. I'm going to go maybe 41 if I can, wraps. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Scooch it down. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, and you notice that it's wider there. I'm on 12. I'm going to forget that number soon. I'm just going to tighten that up by turning it one way. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And you see how it's starting to come apart. 18. The woven bits are their individual strands. Is that 18? 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Look. 34, 35, 36. 37, 38, 39, 40. Okay, 41. So it has 41 wraps, and if I'm just holding the end of it, it'll go down and it'll be kind of tight. That's 41. Let's go 42, 43. Still gonna be tight, 43. I'm gonna scooch it down, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. I like the number 47. So let's, why? I have no idea. 47, and I'm twisting at 47. It's going to be kind of tight. 47, squeezing it down. 48, 49, 50. 1, 2, 3, 53. And I'm going to squeeze the threads and pull my needle out. I'm never going to let go. This has to be squashed, or else you're going to get a screwed up looking bullion knot. What did I say? 50, I forget how many 50. I'll have to look at 50 some. So I'm holding that, and now I'm holding there. So I'm just going to be, let's go back. I have to make sure that I'm pulling the needle through this very long wrap, and I'm scooching it down the yarn. Come on. And we're off the needle, and look at how much I have, hardly any yarn left. And I'm gonna keep pulling the needle out, and it will tighten up this tendril, this knot, this length, and I'm going to keep pinching that until I get close to that where I entered. And let's just see. And I'm playing with it. Okay, I like that. I can maneuver this, and I like the way it sits. That's my length. And I'm going to go down in the same hole that I came up in, pulling it through, and I'm done. Okay, for me, I'm going to tie a knot, because that's just what I like to do. No embroidery, please. Come after me, please. This is just what I like to do. I like to make a knot. And, okay, so I'm going to position these ones here. I'm going to go back and position down. These two orange guys have an anchoring stitch right here. So it's anchored here and it's anchored there, because I liked the way it waved. I might even put another anchoring stitch there. So where do I like it? Okay, I like something like that. So I'm going to anchor that there. So how do you anchor it? This length, I'm going to go up where I felt my finger. Okay, and it's tight underneath there. And I'm going to move my tentacle over. And I'm going to go down the same hole, or just one thread over, and I'm going to go down. I think I went one thread over. So pull it through, and frame. I can't see. Okay, so let's okay, it's done. I like the way that looks. And I'm going to do a little knot because it's securing it. And let's, am I in frame? Okay, so I pushed one away and I'm going to pull one towards me. So I'm going to have that anchored here. I'm going to go. Okay, I like it there. Make sure it's straight at the back. It is. And again, I'm going to go over. It's like couching. I'm going to go over top of that bullion knot, and I'm going to go down one fabric thread, and I'm going to go down. I'm anchoring it in place. There, so it's going to stay like that. So I'm done that. This is non-usable. I can't use this thread anymore. So how I finish it off, I'm going to tie, I arc my yarn counterclockwise, and I'm going to take a bite of my yarn, and it doesn't go through because there's fabric on top. And I'm going to tie a knot, and then I'm going to take a little bite again, and I'm just going through the wool. You don't see it because there's fabric on top. I'm going to take two little bites, two little anchoring stitches, 1, 2, and then I'm going to run it through to height, and take the scissors and cut that off. This is garbage. I'm going to put that away. So my Sashiko needle did a nice job. And I'm going to put that away. And I'm going to anchor down these guys while I'm here. And what kind of needles do I have? Oh, let's just use this chenille needle. For wool, I always have to use a needle threader. And there I go. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I want to anchor. I'm going to anchor that there. So it's going to come out up here. So I'm going to bring in my thread. I'm in just over top of the wool, in between the wool and the fabric, so it's hidden. You don't see it. And then I'm going to take 2 little bites to anchor it. 1, 2, and then I'm gonna, okay, where do I have to come out? Where did I say I wanted to? I wanted it right there. So let's, at the tip of the orange, so I want it to come out. Let's go under here. We can actually anchor that down, so let's take a bite and come out. I'm anchoring the thread that's already there in the back, and then I'm going to come out here. And boy, that's a thick, dense fabric. I don't like stitching through thick, dense fabric because it hurts my fingers. So I'm going to, on the other side of the bullion knot, I'm going to go down just 1 fabric thread beside it and down, and I'm just going to pull it. So we're couching it down so it doesn't move. Okay, I like that. And I wanted it so it kind of blends in. I don't want to squeeze it down so you really see it. And make 2 little securing stitches. 1, 2, and I'm not going to finish off because, let's go to this one here. I want him all the way over. Why is it a him? Because I have no idea. Okay, so I want it to come up there, right there. So let's just, that's really long orange, so I can actually secure that. Go in between the wool so you don't see it on the top or the bottom. I want it to come out there. It can just go here. I see my needle hole. I'm going to go up. Okay, and my needle will go down just beside where it came in, one fabric thread away. So I'm couching it. Okay, I like the way that is. And let's do a little knot. So I took one bite, I'm going to take 2 bites, and up, up, and down. So let's see, where do I want to anchor this? Right here. So right here is where I have to come up. So I can go hiding in between the yarn. Again, in between the yarn. I say yarn, it's wool blanket. Not yarn, wool blanket. Okay, and where did I want to come up? It's on that flower petal right here. I'm going to go up like this. I'm going to go closer. I'm going to go right there. Right there. Okay. And over and around, so you're couching, but down one fiber away from the hole you were just in. And that's so dense because it's going through that batik fabric. And we are just going to make sure he doesn't move. Okay, and I'm gonna tie him off. Boy, I made that one too long. I should have made it just up to here. I don't know what I was thinking. Oh, shoot. Oh, well. Okay, I see these are short. I don't know why I went down there. Now I want it short. I'm going to leave it, but the other ones I'm going to make. These variegated ones are the same length, and those up to the edge here, that's just past the stitching, so I think I should have stopped there. Oh well, so in my mind I made a mistake, but I'm going to leave it. So this is finished, so to secure it, you're just going to take a little bite, a tiny little stitch, and then, so that's 2 times I did that, and then I am going to hide it about half an inch, and I'm done. So that one is done. Let's do the red ones. I'm going to take this, and this is a shorter needle. Okay, and I'm going to take it to, I want to have one right here. So let's come up in the center. So again, to anchor that, we're going to come in about half an inch. Take 2 little bites. 1, 2, come out in the center. Make sure it's flat in the back. It is. So bullion knots, I want my bullion, where do I want this guy? I want him right there. So I want to go down here, and I want to come up close to that yarn where he comes out, where the red comes out. I want to come up there. And I'm pulling my needle. It's going through that crazy batik. There we go. We're through the batik. Okay, so we're standing up, and let's try 31. So let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go down. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. And I keep going, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. It's going to be a little bit longer. 37. Let's go 41, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. And push the yarn down, pull your needle. Okay, we're through. Now I have to pull my yarn. With all these wraps, you see how it got tighter over there? How did I get it tighter? I was adjusting the wraps. Oh my goodness, pull, pull, pull. Come on, you can do it. The best thread for bullion knots is a rayon thread because it's so slinky. Okay, we're gonna pull this and hold that. We're gonna pull it down. When we pull this, it'll tighten that thread and go down. And I'm gonna go down the same hole and pull. Okay, why do I have a little bit knot? Let's move that. And whoops, where's my needle? There we go. Okay, and I have to, let's anchor that. Let's give it one little bite. And where do I want it to rest? I'm anchoring it. So I like my little shape, like one goes down, the other one goes up. So I want it to sit. I'm going to anchor it just there on the red. So let's go there. And we're going to couch that down. Pull up. And I'm going to go just over top of the bullion, and where is the thread? One fiber to the side and couched down and pull. Okay, do I want to I like to have movement. Do I want to anchor it? Maybe. I'm going to anchor it. Why? Because I don't want it to get pulled out in case the dogs get it. So off, up and around, just a hair over, one fiber, and down. That batik is hard. I do not like that batik fabric. It's woven too dense. Okay, and pull that pouching down. Okay, that'll stay, and I'm going to anchor off. Let's go one. I'm going to catch this red long one. That's one. And I'm going to make another one, so that's two. And then I'm going to hide this. Hide my end through the wool. And I'm going to cut that off. Okay, and I want another red one there. And this is a yarn needle, and have to come up the center again, right there. And where am I coming here? Let's bring this I'm hiding my threads. This is how I anchor it. Take a little bite, one, and I'm going to take a second little bite, and I'm going to come up the center. And I want it to come down again on that variegated, and do I want it closer to here? Yes, I'm going to have it here. So I want to have my thread, my yarn go down here and come up. Whoops, not there. Nope, not there either. Okay, that'll do. And pull it through the fabric. That batik, oh, it's through the batik. Right on. Stand my needle up. Oh, okay. And let's start doing loops. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whoa, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. It's loop 31 and it's longer, so that'll be good. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. And why did I do 37? Because I can. So I did, squeezing it all the way down, pulling my needle up. That was much easier. And down. Love that. Down the same hole. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to make a knot. I'm going to anchor it. Where do I want it? Where do I want to anchor it? I'm going to anchor it right there. Where's right there? Well, let's just go right. Yes, right there. Okay. Bring it flat. Go up and around. Or up and over, I should say. And pull it. That's where I wanted it. Perfect. Look at that. That one is so long. Well, let's just anchor this off. I'm going to do one more red one, and maybe I want to secure this thread, so I'm going to take my bite. Whoa. Make a knot. And make another little knot. And then hide this. Let's hide it this way in the wool and cut that off. That's done. I want to do another red one, but I want to do a longer one. Let's get this Sashiko needle. Okay, so that's bothering me. I need another length. That's definitely not long enough. I'll be using that somewhere else. Let's get a very long length again. Okay, and whoops, here it is. Where's my needle threader? Sashiko needle, and let's find the center. Now that's a good needle to hang on to. Holy, that's awesome. 1, 2, come up in the center. Make sure it lays flat. And where do I want this to come down now? I don't like this. I want a long tentacle. Okay, where do I want it to lay? It's gonna go up here. Right here, and I have to make it long so it can swirl over, I think. Or do I want to go up this way? Just wait. Do I want it to look like that? Like this? Or do I want it to... You see how each in the corner, so this one has to go here. It will go there in the wool. And okay, out there. Oh, that went in through very easy. Okay, so let's go and let's start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 1, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. Let's lay it down. Perfect. And let's take the needle out. Winding it because it got too tight, or should I say twisting it because it got too tight in that one area. And you keep pulling and it'll go down. And then we swirl that out. Okay, let's go down the same hole. All right, so perfect. I like the way that looks there. Let's anchor this. 1, 2. Make 1 knot. Okay, now I want to anchor it. So you can position these wherever you want them to be. I'm going to anchor these in 2 spots. I want it to be in the middle there. And then I want it to be over, so I want it to be right there. Come up. Straight and over. Okay, like that, and let's give it a little knot. I want to anchor it again, because I don't want it to be sitting up like that. I want it to sit there. I want to tell it what to do. And I want it to go I'm looking for the red yarn around the circle. That's where I'm coming up. Okay, I need it on the other side, so let's move my needle over. Okay, and down. Love that. Perfect. Okay, I know it needs something else, but at the moment, I'm not sure what that something else is. So I will think on it. So I did two knots, and I'm going to end. I'm going to do all of my Suffolk puffs. So the next time I come back, all my Suffolk puffs will be done with these bullion knots in these colors. There we go. I'm going to be stitching 3 times around it with the different colors, and I'm adding bullion knots. We'll see how many bullion knots I add to the other ones. And again, to me, this looks unfinished, and I have to think on what I want to put in here yet. So thank you everyone for watching, and happy stitching. Oopsie.